Hello everyone, I'm going to be giving a Ninan breakdown. He's a new character in Catharsis sagas, so I'll just be giving like a quick little breakdown of the guy to let you know how he plays. I would say he's the hardest character that we've made by far. There's just a lot of management. So normally his powers will have this back, but he has soul powers he can unlock. He can unlock one soul power throughout the game. There's 3 available. The soul powers are extremely powerful. So like if we just take a look at this one, depending on how many souls you have on 2 dice, you can deal 12 damage. Having 95 souls is not easy, but 2 dice, 12 damage, very insane. And the bottom deals 7 damage, prevent 1 damage yourself. If you flip your roll card this one, all attacks from all players deal an additional 1 damage. That gives you a little nice support feeling to that card. So there's Ninan, soul powers. So let's explain the guy here. His yellow tracker up here is going to be his essence, and the red will be the souls, or vice versa. So the top abilities, when you activate them, they're going to collect essence. Essence is going to build up your character over time. That's your main role card. So essence is tied to your main role card, and souls is tied to your secondary role card. So I'll just read his first, I'll just read his abilities. Ninan starts the game with 2 essence, 5 powers, and 4 dice. He can only reroll his dice once per combat round. Set aside the 3 soul powers. So right away, he only has 4 dice and 5 powers. Always active. Ninan can't unflip his roll card the same turn he exhausted. If his roll card is flipped or his essence counter is below the requirement to gain dice, a soul power, or a reroll, he instantly sets aside any extra die and loses the power in rerolls. When a monster is defeated, roll a die and gain that many essence +1. Gain +1 essence when a boss deck card is revealed in each combat round. Convert all essence to souls. See soul card. That's when you flip it. Sorry, flip is you convert all essence to souls. So what happens when he does have essence? Well, first, you unlock your 5th dice with 5 of them. Not very difficult. 11, you unlock your 2nd reroll. And 17, you unlock your 6th dice. But there are more. At 21, all attacks deal +1 damage. Deal yourself 1 damage. All attacks deal +2 at 27, but you deal yourself 3 damage. Etc., etc. Damage dealt in this way is dealt at the start of combat. So that's his main roll card in a nutshell. So he needs to flip it to convert to souls if you start getting too much essence. But when you do flip it, you need to wait a turn before you can unflip with morale. So be very careful in working with morale with other players, because if other players need to use morale and you just flip your roll card, you're not going to get it back that turn. I'll try to balance it out. His souls card, he starts with 5 souls. Soul effects only trigger once per game. Ongoing effects last so long as you meet the threshold. Effects happen immediately upon reaching or passing a threshold. If you fall below the threshold for an ongoing effect, you lose access to it. So if you ever have 0 souls, you die. Consume. Roll 6 dice, lose that many souls, and deal 7 damage. Limit once per round. So he has a little extra consume effect with his soul card, which is pretty cool. At 35, adjust 1 die by up to 1 per combat round. So that's pretty strong. At 35 souls, you automatically get a wild die, essentially. All of your attacks deal +1 damage at 55. You may search your deck for a power to place an exhausting power. If you are below your maximum powers, you may add it to your board instead. So 75 souls allows you to get your soul power. 90, all your powers require 1 less die to activate. And 99, all attacks by all players deal +1 damage. So at 75, you probably want to go ahead and try to get your soul power if you can. Getting to 75 souls shouldn't take that long. You'll definitely get it depending on which deck. Because you do collect essence when using top abilities, but bottom abilities do cost souls. So you do need to balance out the usage of these said powers. Like we take a look here, you get 5 essence on 2 dice. 3 of your dice are wild the next combat round. If you have 85 or more souls, all of your dice are wild the next combat round. So a lot of these powers, there's a soul counter that ties a secondary effect to it. So we look here, 3 dice, we're dealing 5 damage, and we collect 2 essence. But if we have 40 or more souls, we deal +2. And we deal another +2 if you have 95 or more souls. So you're looking at 9 damage on 3 dice if you have 95 or more souls. But you really do need to get to that 75 mark to get that soul power. And just to be clear, you could get another soul power, but getting rid of 75 souls more than once may really hurt you, but having 2 soul powers would be amazing. Here's like another soul power. I just want to show it off. So 6 A's, you deal 15 damage and 1 damage to each player. Deal an additional 2 damage if you have 42 more souls. So you're dealing 17 damage on 6 dice. The soul bomb bottom part is spend 7 souls, and you get 7 essence. That is kind of important. Spend 7 souls on the bottom, deal 15 damage to 2 monsters and or bosses on 5 dice, by the way. Spend an additional 10 souls to add +1 damage. This is max 5. So you could do essentially 20 damage if you to 2 monsters. Very good against certain decks and certain combats. I'll show you off one more power here. 4 dice, you collect 2 essence, you deal 8 damage. If you have 40 or more souls, you also prevent 2 damage. So throughout the game, we're going to be using to collect this essence here. Very important. So as we collect essence throughout the game, we're going to be raising it. And as we use the bottom parts of our abilities, we spend souls. But we also want to have enough souls to unlock your awesome abilities down here and be able to do other effects. So you might not be using the bottom part of your abilities too early on until you unlock your 6th power. Because just remember, for at least the first third of the game, you're probably only going to have 5 powers. And depending on how long you want to have those 5 powers, will you even spend 75? Because the bonus of having 99, all attacks by all players deal +1 damage. That's permanent. Maybe you just want to rush in 99 and just hang out there, but getting that 6 power, especially in solo, will help a lot. So you have the option to spend souls, collect essence. So you're going to be working with, that's why we made this magnetic. I didn't want people to have to keep taking tokens all the time. So hopefully Ninon, yes, he's going to be hard to manage and hard to play, but he's going to be super fun solo and super fun in group. We gave him support abilities as well. Like this one, 4 dice. All attacks from all players deal +1 damage this turn, or replace this power and activate the top ability of the power that replaces it for free. I gave him support abilities, but I tied replacement effects into it in case you want to cycle those out. Like the bottom says, all players choose 1 power and replace it, or draw 3 cards from your deck, choose 1 and replace this card. Gain 15 souls. So really powerful, really cool. I tried to make him very flavorful. The past always haunts you. So his flavor is pretty cool. Fire breathing. Deal 5 damage up to 4 monsters and bosses. Yes, there is a monster rush coming up in the next expansions. So this is going to be a really awesome ability, because dealing possibly 20 damage on 2 die to 4 different monsters is amazing. But Ninon is a very high-risk character with high payoff. Like I said, 4 dice most of the game. And not most of the game, but partial of the game, and only having 1 reroll. He is hard to manage solo, but definitely strong if you play him right. And he's great with someone like a Hydorian or a Lemmy who can adjust die. Also pairs very well with Unmei and Tenzin, because he does multiple attacks. Unmei's roll card is awesome for that. And Tenzin also does multiple attacks, and he gives more damage to people with multiple attacks. He's got some abilities that can buff them, or his Souls card over here. So dice adjustment is very good for him. The Hydorian, the Fate Wizard, and just people who do multiple attacks. Give a game a go, like a Hydorian, not a Hydorian, yeah, Hydorian plus Ninon plus Unmei. That would be a really good trio, like really good. And if you want to make an awesome 4, add Lemmy or Tenzin in there, and you got yourself a really good party. So hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown of Ninon. If you have any questions, just comment and I'll try to answer them. Well, I will answer them. So be well, take care, and bye.